Welcome back, everyone. It's Eric from Rare Candy. Here today we are back on PTCGO, taking a look at a very degenerate Noctowl Pidgeot deck. So go figure, another annoying deck that involves Pidgeot. But this one's really not quite like a control deck. Like, we're not taking prizes, but at the same time, it's not really like a mill sort of deck. So a very interesting win condition that we have here. But before we get into the actual list itself, if you guys do need any codes for PTCGO to complete this deck or any others, if you guys go to PTCGOstore.com and use the coupon code RARECANDY, you'll save some money at checkout. And of course, our patrons also have their own exclusive code that gets them an even bigger discount over there at PTCGO Store. So I'll have links down below in the description if you guys want to learn about all of that. But getting back into the actual deck profile, Noctowl is going to be the star of the show here. A new card from Sword and Shield. Honestly, a card I really didn't think too much of when looking through the set initially. But it has a very interesting second attack here for 3 colorless energy, or just the triple acceleration energy, of course. We can use this attack, and we choose one of our opponent's bench Pokemon. They shuffle that Pokemon, all cards attached to it back into their deck. Then you do the same for Noctowl. So this deck actually looks very similar in the engine and build to the Behemoth deck that kind of made a splash at Worlds last year. And it's going to function very similarly. So Noctowl is going to be the main attacker. We're basically just trying to remove all of our opponent's Pokemon from play and eventually win that way. But the big downside to Noctowl is that it only works on bench Pokemon. You can't shuffle their active in, so we need a way to do that. And we're going to do that with Pidgeot. So Pidgeot is going to be a Stage 2 Pokemon. Came out back in Team Up, I believe. And this is going to be our kind of closer in the game, or in this deck, for this second attack for a triple acceleration energy. Your opponent puts their active Pokemon, all cards attached to it, into their hand. So ideally, what we're going to do is put all of our opponent's bench Pokemon back in their deck, and once they only have one active, we can use Pidgeot here to put their active back in, leave them with no Pokemon, and win the game. That's like the whole strategy with the decks. Very tedious, very grindy, but it is actually, I think pretty good. Out of the games I've been playing, I've had a lot of wins with this thing. Very interesting deck for sure. And of course, since we're playing Pidgeot, that means we also get access to Pidgeot. Pidgeot is definitely one of the better consistency boosting bench sitters in the format right now. So it's awesome that our evolution line that we have to play is going to use Pidgeot. So we're playing a pretty thick 4-4-2 line of the Pidgeot. 4-4 Noctowl. We have the one Ditto to give us the flexibility of evolving into either one. We do have a couple of other important Pokemon. Next up, we have 2 copies of Goomy. This is going to be one of the Pokemon we can potentially promote whenever we shuffle our Noctowl back into our deck. Goomy is really cool, has this ability. It's going to make our opponents active, need 1 more energy to attack us. So a lot of times this will buy us a turn and prevent our opponent from taking a prize. So this is one of our wall Pokemon. We also have 2 copies of Phione as well. So Phione's a card we typically only see in like a 1 count, but we're playing 2 just because, we're not taking prizes, so if it gets prized, we're going to be in bad shape, and Phione is really important to the deck for that Whirlpool Suction ability. So if this Pokemon is on our bench, we can have our opponent switch their active with one of their bench Pokemon, and then you discard all cards attached to this Pokemon, put it at the bottom of your deck. So if your opponent's main Pokemon with like all of their energy is in the active, we can bench Phione, force them to put that Pokemon on the bench, and use our Noctowl to shuffle that Pokemon back into their deck. So going on from there, we are going to be able to use the Elm engine to get set up. This is one of the few decks I think that still would maybe want something like this over like a heavy ball engine, just because it does search out so much in the deck. So search your deck for 3 Pokemon with 60 HP or less. So of course we can grab Hoothoot, Ditto, Pidgeot, more importantly, and also Goomy as well. Couple of other supporters, 3 Marty, 4 Scythia, just for some extra draw power. 2 copies of Power Plant in the deck, just to kind of slow down our opponent, prevent those things like the Dene GX from being used. Also shut off things like Mewtwo Mew. We're a very defensive deck, so I think Power Plant kind of slots nicely into what we got going on here. We have 1 copy of Reset Stamp, though I think this could actually become like a 4th Marnie if you really want to. They serve kind of a similar purpose. But Reset Stamp, very powerful if your opponent only has like 1 or 2 prizes remaining. We have 4 Pokédolls. This is the other really key component to the deck here. So you can play it as a 30 HP colorless Pokemon, and then if it gets knocked out by your opponent, they don't get any prizes. So basically, we're just trying to like throw these things active or Goomy, and basically just try to buy as much time as possible before we shuffle all of our opponent's Pokemon back into their deck. I will also point out we have 4 copies of Acrobike here. I think some people might play Pokegear in a deck like this, but I like Acrobike because it's good even after we've used Elm. I think that's really why you would prefer Pokegear, is to dig for that first turn Elm. Acrobike is going to allow you to dig for anything, so that's why I'm favoring that. We do have a couple of tool cards as well. We have 2 U-turn board and 1 air balloon. So I think there is some consideration of just playing a U-turn board exclusively, but I like the 1 air balloon because it's going to give us an out against Absol if our opponent is playing one. So if they do have Absol, U-turn board won't actually work on our Gumi, Fion, etc. So air balloon is going to allow us the flexibility to still be able to retreat with an Absol in play. And of course, the 4 triple acceleration energies are going to fuel our deck here. So that's going to be the list for this Noctowl deck. I'm going to quit rambling. Let's head into some games. I'll show off how this thing looks in action, okay? Alright, so we're playing against Nino Mutante. I think that's how you pronounce that. And our opponent is going to go first. That's definitely good. And this is especially a great hand to be going second with. Assuming they get a knockout on the first turn, I think I'd rather them knock out a Pidgey instead of a Hoot Hoot. And so I think we're just going to stay with this hand. I don't want to put down the Hoot Hoot and let them know what we're playing, because right now we could be telling them, hey, we're playing like Pidgeot control, and if that's the case, they might not bench extra things. So yeah, we're just going to sit on this hand for the moment. And they can't Marnie as turn 1. They could reset Stampus, but reset Stampus is like pretty bad on turn 1. Okay, so they can't be affected by special conditions. I was curious if this was effects. That would be bad, because then we would instantly lose. So here, we're just going to go for Professor Elm's Lecture. And I think this is... Sure, we'll just do this. Actually, maybe this should have been a second Pidgey in hindsight, because this one's probably going to get knocked out if I had to assume. Or I kind of like this, actually. Yeah, we'll make it harder on them to get a knockout. And I think I might even leave this hand kind of as is. Well, I don't know. Because right now we only have space for one... Well, I did not mean to do that. I was going to say, we only have space for 1 wall Pokemon, and with Fion in the mix, we always want to have 2 walls in play. But it's fine. And we'll just pass. This is definitely a decent little first turn for us. We have the Marnie for the follow-up next turn. And so we're going to see Drampa. So right now this looks like kind of like an older style of ADP, like from the Cosmic Eclipse era. And they're getting rid of Energy Recycler. Very interesting list we're playing against. So it is in fact ADP, but very interesting sort of take on it. So I'll play Acrobike. I really man, I did not check to see if we had both of our Pidgeots in deck. If that's the case, I actually might discard the doll, as much as I hate to say that. Yeah, that feels really bad, because Pidgeot's our win condition. We can't really risk not having that in deck. So here we're just going to do this. Go for the Marnie. Now, unfortunately, 2 triple accelerations are going to the bottom of our deck, so we might not be able to get an attack off this turn, but we'll see. I guess there's a world where that could happen. So let's say we get off the airmail. Get Gumi, okay. So get another Pidgeotto. We'll just get a Pidgey here. That's fine. Okay, so we can retreat this turn. I definitely would like to, just because Pidgeot is kind of precious. We don't want those to get knocked out. I feel like we go for the... Like, if we go for the Goomy and they have a switch, they can just get Goomy out of the active spot, which I guess isn't the end of the world, but... Yeah, let's make it a little bit tougher on them if need be. So just going to force them to need extra pieces here. We're probably not getting, like, attacked with damage, so that's why I don't want the Pokédoll down. I would have preferred the Pokédoll if they had already burned their Altered Creation GX. But here they're going to put Keldeo back in deck. So yeah, this is definitely like the old school style of ADP. Guess someone's still trying to keep it alive, but here, just a pass. So definitely unfortunate for them. So we'll just go for Cynthia here. Now we do need a gusting method, or not gusting method, but a retreating method here. That's the only thing we're missing. And we get it. That's actually really good. And if we can just keep this ADP from ever getting off Altered Creation, we're in a fantastic spot. So we'll grab Marnie. And everyone's actually perfect too, because if they do play Absol or something like that, that won't affect us either. And so we'll just do the carry off, put that ADP back in our opponent's deck. And we'll promote Goomy. So yeah, I feel pretty good about this. Like I said, we just keep the ADP off of the field and never let them get that second manual attachment where we're going to be golden here. So that's really the big danger, is I'm getting off an Altered Creation and then an Ultimate Rail on top of that. But here, not much action from our opponent here. I really don't even want to go for the Marnie, to be honest, but... And I think I'm actually going to use Airmail first, because if we do play Marnie, all of our energies go to the bottom of our deck. So we definitely need Noctowl if we're going to play Marnie. Okay, so we did get that. So that makes me feel actually a little bit better about potentially going for the Marnie this turn. And so yeah, we'll do this. And they have not been playing any supporters, so let's see if we get off the Airmail first. Okay, so I think I'm actually going to sit on this hand for another turn. So carry off. We're going to put this Caldwell GX back into our opponent's deck. And again, just trying to make it as hard on them as possible to actually get off an attack. So next turn we can go Noctowl, triple, Marnie, and keep going. Your opponent's playing the low puff as well. That could be problematic because the GX attack can snipe us, but I mean, they're not going to use that. Let's face it, they're going to use Altered Creation. So Chaotic Swell, that's fine. So we'll do this. Play Acrobike. Perfect. We can discard Elm's Lecture. We don't need that anymore. And I mean, given our opponent's not playing a supporter, we have this Hoot Hoot. I really don't even want to play anything else. Yeah, I think we'll just go for the Calm here. Yeah, we're just gonna live off this hand, I think. Or at least until our opponent, you know what, I'll actually grab the Elm's Lecture this turn, since we are just kind of like chilling. We'll do that. So we'll just grab Hoot Hoot, Pidgey, and Pidgeot. And so we could go for Fion and try to put their Fion back in their deck, but I kind of don't hate if they do discard this energy to retreat. Or attach a second one to do 10 damage. I don't mind that at all. So yeah, I feel pretty good about this. Carry off. We'll put the Blitzel back, because if they're playing Zebstrika, we don't want them to draw into Zebstrika and be able to refresh their hand. And so yeah, I think we have them locked down pretty well, because as soon as they mention ADP, we're just going to get Fion down, put that thing back in deck, and they are going for the double energy on Fion here. So they're just going to do 10 damage. That is fine with me. The Again, we're doing a really good job living off our top deck here. So airmail, we'll just grab the Pidgeot preemptively, I suppose. Airmail again. And yeah, we'll go for the Fion. Yep, so we basically just want to put all of their energy like back in deck, perpetuate, I think, and just make their deck like thicker and clunkier to draw out of. So I would put back the ADP, but I want to put it back as soon as they commit one energy to it. That's really when we should strike, I think. So yeah, we'll just go for the carry off, put Fion back in deck. Since Fion's actually probably the bigger threat overall than the ADP, because that's what's going to net them prizes eventually, is by being able to use that ability there. Okay, so they're getting out on energy, so you guys know what time it is. We draw back into the Fion. That's actually really good as well. So airmail, let's see what we can get. We do get triple acceleration energy. That's fantastic. We needed that. And we might have to actually go for a Marnie this turn, unfortunately. And we do get Noctowl, so that's good. So now we can actually use our communication for something different. So we'll do this. Get down this. Get down a Hoothoot. And we'll retreat. And I think we actually will get down the Pidgey. I'm okay with that. And carry off yet again. So you guys can see we are inching closer and closer to the win condition. Just 2 Pokemon left. Our opponent has not been playing like anything really. So especially if we just keep thickening that deck back up, putting all these Pokemon energy back in, and they can't draw supporters, it's going to be fine. So here they're going to get down Choice Helmet. And they do finally get a Cynthia. Okay, so next turn we probably will go for a Marnie and try to reset their hand a little bit here. I mean, I'm cool with them attaching to this Drampa. That doesn't really scare me too much. So we're going to go for the Marnie. We need Hoothoot, Noctowl, triple. Okay, so we got part of the equation already. Sure, we'll just go for another Noctowl. I'm pretty sure we have all of our triples in deck too, so we have decent odds here. So we have plenty of Hoothoots, just no triples. So unfortunately, guys, we did not get there. Yeah, we'll just do this for the moment. Now, big thing is, I really want to save Fion. So we can't get down another we can't get down Noctowl this turn. Well, I guess we can. I really don't think we're threatened to be knocked out, so I think it's probably safe actually to do that. And so they're all hitting for 20. Yeah, I think we're fine here. So hopefully they commit an extra energy to this Drampa. Okay, and they are, so that's perfect. They're going to hit us for 20. I'm fine with that, but we can actually just put this thing right back into their deck. So we'll go ahead, get that down. Whirlpool Suction. And we'll get down another Hoothoot. And we're just going to go for the Cynthia here. So we just need triple. Decent odds, I think, of hitting it. I say that, but we still don't have it yet. Okay, there we go. So good, we can shuffle all that stuff right back into their deck. And airmail, there we go. So we have a follow-up for the next turn as well. So we'll just retreat. Carry off right back into their deck. So as you guys can see, these games are not the most fun. It's honestly kind of like playing solitaire in a way. So I feel like just in general, the decks I've been posting lately have not been enjoyable to play. Like I posted the Obstagoon deck the other day too, which is a pretty decent deck, but boring to play. This is the same way. So we're going to go for the Whirlpool Suction yet again here. Get down a Hoothoot. Honestly, I might even sit on this hand for the moment because we already have a Noctowl ready to go. I guess I don't want to burn all my supporters unnecessarily if we don't have to. Okay, and we have our Fion as well. And another carry off, putting ADP back in the deck. So hopefully this sticks. They don't have a draw supporter, and we can just shuffle these last two in and be good to go. So opponent's turn, what do they have here? They have Keldeo. They keep finding basics, so eventually they are going to run out of stuff. Alrighty, so this is a case I actually will do this. I really don't want this Goomy to fall asleep. So we're just going to do this. We'll get down a Ditto here. I think we'll actually burn the Evolution Incense. I really just want to guarantee the triple this turn. So grab Cynthia. Noctowl. Ooh, this is getting sketchy, guys. We need this last one to be an energy really badly. And we did not get there, unfortunately, but we still are probably safe from an attack just because this Keldeo has a 2 retreat cost. And yeah, I'm really not too worried about this Mega Lopunny Jigglypuff. So from there, we're just gonna have to pass over to our opponent. Okay, so they are just going to do that. So I think this turn I'm going to... I'm not sure how many 60 HP Pokemon we have left in deck, so I'm going to do this. And I'll just grab the Fion. No, we have the Fion already in hand. I don't want them to know that we have it. So I'll just grab the Noctowl here. And then I'm going to play Elm's Lecture just to thin some more stuff out of deck. So grab these. And we still have all of our airmails, so we're going to be good. Yeah, we have another triple for next turn. That's what I like to see. Noctowl, that's fine. So basically the thing we have to worry about at this point is just running out of time on the clock. I think that's our biggest enemy here. You see, we only have 11 minutes left. Our opponent has 22. So yeah, we'll just do this. And carry off. We'll put the Lopuff back in deck. And just throw up Goomy yet again. And they draw right back into it. Ridiculous. Hey, that's fine with me, though. So just do this, airmail bunch. And sure, we'll do this. So carry off, put that right back in their deck. Hopefully they don't draw back into that. It's like, man, I think we're destined to win this game if we don't run out of time, essentially. Okay, so we're good. Our lock finally, I guess you can call it a lock. It finally stuck for a turn where they didn't have another basic or anything. So we'll go for the airmail. Okay, so we'll get down our Hoothoot, triple acceleration energy, and if they don't have an energy, or I'm sorry, a basic Pokemon next turn, we just win. So we're going to put that Few back in deck. It's also a Pokemon that was always kind of looming as an annoyance. So if they don't have another bench Pokemon, we just win this turn, guys. So big moment of truth, what do they... So we have a water energy, and we finally got there. I know this was probably like the absolute most cancerous game to watch, but hey, we finally got there, and we have the Pidgeot. And so yeah, from there, we're just going to win. All right, so we're playing against Bree Singer, 8210849. Okay, very interesting username. So our opponent is going to get over first. I'm actually totally fine with that. This is actually one of the few decks that I almost exclusively go second with. So I'm definitely okay with that. Now the question is, what do we want to start? And I think I'm going to go for the Pidgey. Or, well, I guess we'd go for Hoothoot, because if we do get down the air balloon, we can always shuffle that back in with our Noctowl at some point. So we're just going to do this. And I think, yeah, we'll get down the Pidgey. From there, we're just going to sit on this hand. Unfortunately, we don't have a supporter for our first turn. But our opponent is going to mulligan. It's definitely good. So let's see what they're playing. Ooh, they are playing the Chandelure deck. I'm a big Chandelure fan, just as a Pokemon. So very curious to see how this is going to go. This actually might be a really bad matchup for us, just because we're going to shuffle our opponent's Pokemon back into their deck, and then they can just get him back out with Chandelure. So maybe we're just going to have to shuffle Chandelure's back in. So our opponent is going to have a pretty big mulligan here. That's fine. We have a great starting hand now. So I think we're just going to kind of sit on this for the moment. Don't want to play down the Gumi or Fion, just in case they don't know what we're playing. I want to be able to catch them off guard with these types of things. So we're going to see a Litwick. They're going to have a Pokegear, grabbing a Brock's Grit. It's probably not what they want to see. And just a pass. So luckily for them, we're not a very aggressive deck, so we really can't put on a whole lot of pressure here. So I think we're going to get down... Well, we're definitely going to communicate. Or honestly, you might even just sit on this hand. This hand's pretty good. So I think what we do here... We'll get down the Pokédoll. Then we're going to retreat into the Pokédoll here. Or actually, we should probably do the Gumi. But at the same time, if we retreat into the Gumi, that doesn't guarantee us an attack next turn. So I think what I might do this turn... So I think we're going to go for the Pokemon Communication here. Going to put the Noctowl back. And we're just going to grab another Pidgey for this turn. We have Evolution Incense, so we can get Noctowl for next turn. So I think we'll just do this. We'll just retreat into the Pokédoll. And from there, I think we're just going to pass. I really like this hand. Don't want to play a supporter. If anything, not playing a supporter kind of maybe signals to our opponent we don't have a great hand. I mean, we did draw a ton of cards from Mulligan, so I would imagine they have to know that we have a pretty decent hand here. But here they're just going to go for a greens to guarantee the Chandelure. I'm fine with that. They're not going to be able to get a prize in the process. I would have liked to have actually promoted the Gumi here, forced them to need the extra energy, but it's okay. We don't have another switching method right this second, so I'd rather just feed them the Pokédoll here. Oh, they're just going to go for Find a Friend. Very interesting. Huh. Very confused by that. Now, unfortunately, we can't do 60 damage. We can do 40 because Noctowl can hit for 40. But that's hilarious. So we're just going to go for Evolution Incense. Yeah, we're only doing 40. This feels so bad. But it's okay. We're still getting set up. Our opponent's like, I mean, giving them extra turn doesn't really matter too much to me personally. So we'll do this. Go for Pidgeot. We did prize 2 Pidgeotos, which is actually kind of bad here. But we only really need 2 in play at a time, so I guess it's not the end of the world. So we're just going to go for the Airmail and grab Elm's Lecture. I think I'm just going to play that for the turn. We really don't need too much else. So we'll just do that. Thinning some more cards out of deck. Don't really want to see Elm the rest of the game anyway, so just thinning out, make sure Airmail can hit something better here. And we'll just grab an Evolution Incense. So I guess we can... Sure, we'll go ahead and evolve. I really don't think our bench is under any threat here in particular. So we'll do this. And we'll Communication. We'll put the Pidgey back in deck. I don't think we're going to need that. And we'll just go for a Noctowl here. Just taking a peek at some more stuff. We have all of our Pokédolls. We have both Goomies. That's good. Yeah, so nothing really crucial prize other than the 2 Pidgeotos, but we don't really need more than that anyways. So we're just going to do this. I want to evolve preemptively into Noctowl just in case our opponent has Marnie or something like that. I don't want to have to need Noctowl and triple acceleration. So yeah, we're just going to pass back over to our opponent. And if our opponent doesn't have any other bench Pokemon, we can actually just win with Pidgeot and shuffle their Chandelure back into their deck. Because I'm assuming we're going to see the Lampent come down. And we saw them grab a Duskstone as well. So I'm just really confused by our opponent's last turn. We didn't really see them do anything. Maybe they stepped away from their computer and like the game's just going to time out on them. Maybe that's what happened. I don't know. But I was definitely very surprised we didn't. Oh, maybe they don't have a rare candy. Maybe that's what it was. Oh, but they have the Duskstone. What am I talking about? Yeah, I really don't know what happened on their last turn. But either way. So we're going to see a greens from our opponent yet again. And this is the turn where I'm expecting things to kind of heat up a little bit. No pun intended, of course, playing against the fire deck. But yeah, imagining Duskstone to get out Chandelure. Maybe a Quick Ball or something to guarantee another Litwick. That could be an option for them too. Really not sure. If they're playing a Rangaroo, we could see that potentially. But here they're going to get down Giant Hearth. I'm fine with that. So Duskstone here. So they definitely need to hit a Pokemon off of, was it Spirit Burner? Is that the name of the attack? Yeah. So if you guys aren't familiar with the Chandelure, it's a very cool card. Came out back in Unified Minds. Discard the top 5 of your deck. 60 for each Pokemon you discard, and you put a number of fire Pokemon you discard onto your bench. So really cool card. And here they're smart. They're getting down that extra fire energy preemptively. Now, did they... Okay, they found Charizard and another Chandelure. So they're getting pretty set up here. So what we're going to do, we're definitely going to get down Fion here. And... I know Charizard can accelerate energy, but... I kind of want to get this Chandelure out of here this turn. So we'll do this. Do we want to get down a Pokédoll here? No, I think we're going to promote the Goomy. I think that's what I want to do. So I think we'll just do this. And we're going to go for the Cynthia here, I believe. Alright, so we're just going to go for the Airmail. Basically, we just want to find a triple acceleration energy for next turn. It doesn't really matter. We can grab the Pokédoll. That's fine. We already have Cynthia in hand, so... Hopefully we can find Power Plant. That would also be nice. Unfortunately, no such thing. That's fine, though. I kind of want to grab Elm because we can discard it with this Giant Hearth if we need to. So let's see. Hopefully a Power Plant here. Unfortunately, I think we have to grab Noctowl. We can let them have their they're stating for another turn. I actually will check to see if we have our power plants in deck. That's one thing I did forget to check on. Okay, so we do have both of them, so we will eventually find some. What definitely would have been nice, though. And, yep, so we'll just go for carry off. And here we'll just promote the Gumi. So more than likely our opponent's not going to get off and attack this turn if they promoted the Chandelure instead of the Charizard. So I think that probably would have been their play, because they could use Roaring Resolve to get their energy and then attach one more for turn. So the only thing is now we do need an additional additional card for this next turn. We do need a retreating method, but we have the two Pidgeotos, the Cynthia. I think we still have 2 Acrobikes left in deck. Yeah, so we do have some ways to dig and make that happen. So it looks like they are going to start powering up that Charizard a little bit preemptively. Okay, and just a pass. So I'm actually going to use their own Giant Hearth, do that. Okay, so do we want to burn this Pokemon Communication? I think I kind of actually want to put Charizard back in deck. Or, well, no, I think getting rid of Chandelures is probably the play, because that's the way they can accelerate their Pokemon. So we're going to Communication. We'll put the Pidgey back in deck. We'll grab the Fion. Not going to use it right away. And here we're just going to go for the Cynthia. Okay, so we do need a retreating method. That's the next kind of order of business here. Yeah, we'll grab the Cynthia since we already have Marty in hand. So it's going to be a big airmail. We really need one here. And we get the U-turn board. Busted. Super busted. And we have the power plant as well to get rid of their Giant Hearth. So that's also good. So yeah, we're going to go for the Whirlpool Suction. That's fine. Here they're going to promote the Charizard. Now, I wish we did have a Pokédoll or something to go with this, but I still feel kind of okay about how this is going. So we'll do this. I'm sure we'll get down the Ditto as well, just in case they do play Custom Catcher or something kind of weird like that. So carry off, put that Chandelure back in deck here. And we will promote our Gumi here. We have the U-turn board, so we can get that back as well as soon as we get knocked out here. Now, the one thing is nice, they do have to discard their energy, if I remember correctly, with Charizard. Yes, so they will have to actually discard 3 energy if they do want to be able to take a knockout. So that's definitely nice. We can actually probably run them out of energy if they're going to be attacking with Charizard most of the game here. So I think we'll just promote our boy Noctowl. So I'm going to do this. We'll do... Sure, this is fine. And we're just going to go for Cynthia. So I'm going to put down... I like getting the board down the active Noctowl because we can shuffle it back in deck and thin in the process while we're playing supporters for this turn. So what do we do? We'll definitely Evolution Incense preemptively just to thin the deck a little bit. So sure, I guess we'll grab Air Balloon. That's fine by me. Now we definitely need some wall Pokemon. That's like the one thing we're kind of missing. Grab Fion, that's fine as well, but we really need something good off of this Acrobike here. That's kind of rough. Unfortunately, I think we're going to grab the Triple Acceleration Energy here. Well, no, because we have to sacrifice something this turn. We honestly might have to sacrifice this Fion. As much as I hate to do that. Yeah, this was kind of a rough Cynthia that we had this turn. So we're going to get this down. Our opponent might not even know we play 2 Fions, so they might be... They might get really excited to actually knock this thing out. Well, actually, you know what? We can, what am I talking about? We can do this. And we can put Charizard back in their deck now. So... So yeah, we'll do carry off, put Charizard back in deck. And we're just going to try to make it as hard as possible on our opponent here. So they're going to need Lampent and Duskstone. So the bad thing about this is Greens is now live for them again. That is the downside, but... so yeah, maybe we should have just put the Litwave back. I don't know. But the one thing, eventually they will run out of search cards. Like, we're going to keep putting stuff back in their deck. They're eventually going to run out of ways to search these cards back out, and that's where we're going to have them stuck. So as you guys can see, this deck, it's very, very grindy. The games tend to take a long time, and especially in like a best 2 out of 3 series, like if you're thinking about playing something like this at a regional, if you lose game 1, you're probably losing the series. It's a very, very tedious deck, but it's oddly rewarding at the same time. Okay, so we will evolve into Noctowl, that's fine. We will get down the... Man, I'd really rather have a U-turn board on this thing, but I don't think our opponent's playing Absol or anything like that, so we're just going to go ahead and do that. And we are going to go for the Marnie here. Alright, so we need triple acceleration energy, that's for sure. Okay, so we do get Gumi. I do kind of like... Well... Sure, we'll get Gumi, that's fine. Because we're going to get rid of our opponent's stadium this turn anyways. Come on, triple acceleration. Okay, we got that, but we don't have a... Hoot to go with this. Oh, but here we just get the victory screen, so yeah, our opponent's had enough of our nonsense in this game. So, yep, it took down the old Chandelure deck. Alright guys, so there it is. You finally made it to the end of this video. I'm actually very surprised you were still with me throughout this whole thing. I know this deck is not the most fun to watch, and really not even the most fun to play against or with. That's just generally not very fun at all, but there is a certain aspect of it that is rewarding, like getting your sequencing right, and you know, always like kind of juggling your resources and trying to draw back into that combo that you need every turn of the Noctowl triple and a Hoothoot. There's something about that is oddly rewarding in a way. But if you guys are a fan of the Behemoth deck from before, I think you'll feel right at home with Noctowl. I think this deck's really cool and actually has been performing pretty well. I don't know, for a best of 1 how good this deck is, just because the games take forever to finish and your opponent can easily play to a tie if they wanted to. But in a best of 3, if you win a game 1, I think the Noctowl deck is actually, pretty solid against a couple different things. Just have to watch out for stuff that has a lot of gusting options, like anything that plays Ninetales is going to be annoying, or like Fion, or like just heavy catcher counts and is very lucky at flipping heads on Pokemon catcher. Stuff like that can be a little bit annoying, but the deck has still been performing really well out of the games I've been putting in with it, and I really do like the state of this list as well too. But yeah, that's going to be it for the Noctowl deck. If you guys did enjoy this content, of course, feel free to like and subscribe. And if you can, consider supporting this channel as well by becoming a patron over at patreon.com/rarecandytcg, or by picking up some merch from our online store, rarecandytcg.com. It would mean a lot. But as always, thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.